Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Save News. And as you can see, we are together actually with Callie, and we are so excited to have Callie, our Save News International Correspondent here in the United States, and her husband, Devin. How are you doing today, Callie and Devin?
We're good.
Doing real well.
We're still kind of jet lagged, but we're good.
I know we were supposed to do this yesterday. This is our first live. We were supposed to do this yesterday, but I felt so bad. I was like, she's going to be asleep. They're going to be asleep. So we decided to do a live today and do it outside in a beautiful open air. We thought that it would be prettier today, but unfortunately it rained, so we're inside on the porch. So, so Callie and Devin, I know you all just arrived Wednesday, left Tuesday. How was your journey here to the States?
Oh, it was good. It was complicated.
It was very complicated.
We had so many different things that we had to do to get out of the country, PCR tests, getting passports ready, just a lot of very complicated things that we don't normally have to take care of before we travel.
Right.
But everything came together.
Yeah, the worldwide embassy, the U.S. embassy kind of system has not been able to deal with passport and passport renewals well,
right,
because of COVID. And so we had 2 expired passports of our children, U.S. passports. And it was amazing. It was really the Lord, because on May 25th, the embassy actually sent out a directive saying that any U.S. passport holders that they had their passports expire during the COVID pandemic and haven't been able to get it renewed were able to travel to the United States.
Oh,
on an expired passport.
Yeah. And that happened on the 25th of May, and we hadn't booked tickets up until that point.
Right.
Because we couldn't get out of the country.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened? How were you all able to move forward with that?
Well, once we got that directive, and this is an interesting fact too, those of you who are facts people, Jerusalem, the embassy in Jerusalem processes the most American passports internationally of any embassy in the world. So they usually do 17,000 a year, and during 2020 they were only able to do 2,000. So they had a backlog of 15,000 passports to process, and we were not able to get an appointment. We tried for months and months to get an appointment. So when they issued that directive saying that we could enter into the country on expired passports if they expired after January 1st, 2020, we went ahead and bought our plane tickets. But what was really amazing about it is that we had looked at these plane tickets a few weeks earlier, and they were a great deal and a great flight. It was just 2 flights. A lot of times we take 3. So this was just 2. And we were waiting to buy them until we knew what was going on with the passports. And when we got this information from the embassy about the passports that came from the State Department, we went ahead and bought the tickets, but they had dropped in price. Like, was it $200 a piece?
200 each.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
we felt like that was really confirmation from the Lord that we were supposed to travel, and that He even made it more affordable for us to get a family of 6 over here.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of money. 4 kids.
Yeah.
And 2 adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a big effort for us to get over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta save all year long to purchase.
Right.
For us, it was really worth it because, well, first of all, our newest, no one had really met.
Yeah.
He's only met grandparents.
Yeah. And I have a grandmother who's 91, and she's
Oh,
got
wow.
Alzheimer's, but she still remembers us. So we really wanted to get back to make sure that we saw her as well.
Oh, okay.
So it was time, and we really do believe that the Lord moved the embassy just for us.
Right.
It was just
It
for us.
was just in time for us to get everything we needed.
That's wonderful.
It wasn't just for us, but we felt.
But you're not special.
Yeah.
The Lord will do it just for you.
Right.
Just for you. Yes,
How
yes.
much He loves us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now you finally were able to get the passports, which was a miracle in itself. Your journey, you were able to get a great deal on flights, saving $200 per ticket.
Yes.
See, it was definitely ordained by God for you
Yes,
to come
definitely.
home. To come
Yeah.
home. So what else did you on the flight? I know you were packing, of course, but how did the flight go? I know you had to do pre-testing.
Yes, we had to do our COVID test before, our PCR test before we got on, and that was another one where we were like, oh no, hope it's okay.
The tests are so sensitive, and we've got 6 people, so it's like a roll of the dice, really.
Right. And we had all been a little bit sick, and the Delta variant that's going around Israel right now presents like a common cold, and we were like, oh no, what if this is it?
Yes.
But they all came back negative, which was great. I think we finally breathed a little easy at that point. So we got those, and we made it on the flight.
Well, I think you all can't. I mean, you had to have the test within 48 hours or 72 hours of the
72 hours.
flight.
Yeah, it had to be within 72 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
So you all really didn't have a lot of window, and if there was no refund on those tickets, you were just, that's believing God. Now, I'm telling you, that's believing God.
Yeah, no, they really don't give you much time. So you have to test negative, and then if you don't, then you're in 2-week quarantine.
Right,
Mandatory.
and you would have missed those flights.
Yeah. And we talked about it. We're like, well, if mine comes back positive, you go with the kids, and then we're like, no, that won't work because they'll quarantine the whole family.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're just gonna have to cancel. So that was a huge relief to get those tests. For those to come back negative, and we were like, okay, we're going now.
Oh, okay, great. That's wonderful. I'm so excited that you all were able to get here. So but now once you get on the flight, but during customs, did you all have any challenges or something, or were you just I'm clear, my test is clean, and you were able to just go on?
Yeah, from that point it was pretty easy. We didn't have anything.
No, once you did all of the initial things, it was very easy to go through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a lot of people at the airport because travel is down and everything. So it was nice.
Yeah, the lines for security were much shorter than normal, and so that was kind of nice. But then once we got on the plane, we were that family with the crying babies.
Yeah, our youngest had never been on a plane before, and it was past midnight, and he didn't want to sit still. So on takeoff, of course, they have to sit still, and he wasn't having it.
He wasn't having it.
He was so upset. He screamed for like 20 minutes. We had all the people all the rows around us looking at us, but they had that look like, is he going to do this the whole 12-hour flight?
And then the other bit was, aren't you going to do anything? And I'm sitting there thinking, we want exactly the same as you.
Right, we want the baby to stop crying.
Right. But it's like, it's takeoff. It's not like we could get up and bounce him and walk him around. We have to sit. And so he cried until he fell asleep, and then he was great. He slept maybe 9 hours.
9 hours.
Wow.
Slept on me. And then
he got, all the other kids are seasoned travelers. So
all the kids. Especially Abiel, he's definitely he's a pro
by himself.
Right. You can just here's your ticket, and he's good. Right. He's been here at least 8 years back and forth. How old is he?
He's 11.
11. Yeah. So he's been. I know I've seen him for 8 years. So, well, no, 7 because COVID last year.
Right. Yeah. We didn't make it last year.
Yeah. So that's good. And all of your children, want to give their names and their ages and everything.
Okay, so we have Abiel, he's 11, and then Lydia, she is 6. Eliora is 4, and Yaniv is 20 months old.
Oh, okay. Well, we have to applaud you for traveling with 4 children, because that is definitely a feat in itself. Just going across the street to the grocery stores. You're talking about a 12-hour flight, not including layovers, sitting down, and that's a lot. That's a lot.
It's really we found it to be very rewarding, though. I mean, when you pass a year and a half and 2 years, and they can sit and they can enjoy the flight. They still talk to us about the trips that we've taken overseas. We've taken to various places back here or in Norway, specifically in Europe. So they still talk about it. It's been very rich for them to be able to travel. So traveling with 4 kids is challenging, but once they get into it, they love it, and they would enjoy doing it whenever.
Yeah, and definitely they probably leave you at home sometimes. Yes, yes. Well, I am just so excited that you all made it here, and normally Callie and I, we're on this our investigative reporter. We digging deep, diving deep, but having a really relaxed day today of just letting people get to know you and to get to know Devin on a more social level. I think is absolutely wonderful. Now, even though they met the baby the first time, he was here the first time. So now, also, what are your plans while you're here in the States? I know of course, we want you to stay forever. We've discussed my selfishness on this, but okay. So, what's the other plan?
Okay, so we're going to be in North Carolina through next week, and then we're going to do a little family vacation. We're actually going to Disney World.
Okay.
My brother is working down there in baseball, so he's going to meet us, him and his wife and their baby. They're going to meet us at Disney World, and then my dad and bonus mom are going to meet us. That's why we're going, actually, because the family's doing a big trip in December for her birthday, and we're not going to be able to make it in December because we're here now. So,
right.
They're going to meet us there for her birthday. We're doing it earlier than everyone else. And then after that, we're going to go up to Chicago, where my dad's working, and spend some time in Chicago. And then we're going to go to Cincinnati, where Devin's family.
My family lives in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And then looks like we'll be back in North Carolina for just a few days before we fly out.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. Now, I also know that you all will be speaking in Goldsboro on the 9th of July. Could you tell at 12 noon? They're having
The 8th.
Oh, okay. I thought you sent me the 9th.
Oh.
We'll put it in the comment section later when we verify it. But it's at 12 noon. It's that Friday, right?
It's a Thursday.
Thursday. Okay, the 8th. All right. So it's the 8th. At 12 noon, and
at Love Memorial Baptist Church.
Love Memorial Baptist Church. We'll put everything in the comment section later, so you'll be able to see where exactly where it's located, and you and Devin will be speaking.
Yeah.
But generally,
trying to work it.
We're trying to work it out, because I mean, for me, I'm a real planner. I want to make sure that things get done. So a lot of the stress about getting everybody here, I kind of took on myself. And then when I got here, I was like, I don't care what we do. So if I speak fine, but she definitely will be able to speak for everyone who wants to hear. But I will be there to add in.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Usually he does the speaking, so I don't know.
Well, I'm going to tell you, over the years, I've come and I've enjoyed both of you speaking. Several churches that we've gone to and stuff. So I'm excited to see what you all are going to talk about.
Yeah.
But that's at Love Memorial in Goldsboro. Like I said, I'll put the information in the comment section later after this video renders it. Well, this is live, so. And everybody know normally I have my little already tweet, but this is live, so we're live today. So I don't have the information. But anyway, also you're going to Disney. I know the kids are excited about that.
Yeah, they're really excited.
Our kids are excited about everything. I mean, honestly, in Israel we have 2 seasons. We don't have 4. We have wet and dry.
Right.
And in the summer,
I think you all brought the rain today.
No, in the summer it never rains.
It doesn't rain.
Oh, okay.
Oh, for them seeing rain in the summer is amazing. It's the best thing in the world.
Yeah, they think it's the coolest thing. To have summer rain, because that doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah, it only rains in the winter.
Oh, okay.
And so when it rains here, they're like, "Can we go play in it?" So they think that is so much fun.
We had a little bit of a flood on the porch here. So Lydia, our first daughter, was out here with me getting the water out, and she was so happy. She said, "I'm going to tell all my friends that I was getting water out of the porch in the summer." But they're excited about everything about this trip. So really, really happy to have them here with us.
Well, we're glad that you're here because, like I said, you didn't make it last year due to COVID. So the last time you were in the States was when?
2 years ago.
2 years, yeah.
I was pregnant too.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking this was 2 years, because I remember you being pregnant when I saw you last.
I was pregnant with Yennies, and pregnancy and jet lag. That is something different.
In the summer too.
Yeah.
In the summer, right, while it's hot, right.
I feel like I had such a hard recovery from that flight. I've just kind of been thinking about it, like, okay, I'm really tired, but I at least feel good. Then I didn't.
So you're like, I'm tired, I don't feel good,
Yeah.
and I got to travel.
So hard, yeah. So it's gone much easier this time, not being pregnant.
Great.
Yeah.
So now let's talk a little bit about, we were sharing before about your ministry, your church, the church that you belong to, and how it was during lockdown. During that time, could you share a little bit about that with us?
Yeah. So we finally were just able to meet again about 4 weeks ago, I think it's been, as a group. And prior to that, we had been split up into 2 groups. So Devin and I hosted a group where we live, and then another group met in our space. And we did that for...
That's because there were very strict rules about how many people could gather.
Right.
So it was only, for a long time, it was only 10 people could gather in any group, and indoor at any time. And more to the insanity of the times, it wasn't particular about how big the space was. So we met with 10 people in a very large hall on the school campus where I work.
Yeah.
Whereas, you could have been in an office with 10 people, and it would have been the same restrictions.
Right.
It's very, very odd.
Yes, it is odd.
So they just basically put these blanket restrictions on 10 people in an enclosed space, and didn't put any qualifications about how big the space is or whatever. So
and sometimes we had people in 2 different spaces. Yeah, so we would have 2 different groups of 10.
Yeah. And we were all, well, of course, how church was done during COVID, streaming to our home congregational building where they were doing the service, and then streaming it out to all the places that people were watching.
So I know you all weren't able to especially fellowship because as your family here, you're originally from the United States, so your church family, your ministry family is your family. Is that correct?
Very much.
And how did that work during that time?
It really didn't. I mean, honestly, and that was the hard thing. With our family being here, our church family, all our kids growing up together, they play together, share things like baby dedications. I mean, we mentioned ahead of time that we hadn't actually dedicated our youngest because we haven't been able to be in the same space while he's been growing. So
and if we were to go over to the main space, then the groups that were meeting where we were hosting wouldn't have a host.
They wouldn't have been able to host. So.
So it was just kind of complicated. But
I'm sure that was a very hard time, not being able to see your pastor and the other sisters and brothers that you fellowship with, and kids, their friends and everything. Fortunately, now that was the time you were very grateful to have so many kids.
Yeah.
Because they could play with each other. But if it was just one, oh wow, it would have been much more harder.
Yeah. And a lot of times, the groups of people who would come would rotate around a little bit. So we often got the families with the small children because we had children. So the families would come. And last time I talked about how the Chinese ladies were coming, which was really a blessing. So in some ways it was nice because just the way that we normally do things, I'm back in the nursery quite a bit, and then after service we usually have a time for fellowship with snacks, and I'm usually chasing after people. So it was nice to be able to have some time just to get to know the Chinese ladies better, since they were all coming to us.
And they were Messianic also?
They're from the underground church in China. Yeah, so these ladies were not, because there are Chinese Jews who've been making Aliyah, but these ladies were all they were just Chinese ladies who had a heart for Israel and moved to Israel. To do ministry or study. Yeah,
I'm sure it was more free. It was freer there for them to be able to, than in China where they were underground.
Right.
Okay, great.
Yeah, they always seemed so joyful. Even with the restrictions of COVID, they always seem very joyful to be meeting and worshiping out in the open. So
Yeah.
I would say that they definitely felt the freedom more, of course, in Israel.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Mhm.
So I'm just so excited that you all are here and your plans. So next week, Callie, we have to we probably do live. I don't know where you're going to be, but I have to send her the link to StreamYard because if Thursday you're doing your thing, we'll talk about that later.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great. We talking great. But so now besides going to Disney,
Uh-huh.
what is the other thing that you're most excited about while you're here? Besides seeing AZ
People.
and Save News.
Right.
And all of you that she loves. Okay, and Devin loves. Okay.
Well, that's fun because Aviel was asking me about it the other day. We've been talking about this. What are you most excited about doing? And I kept just saying, seeing people. You know, like we're kind of busy, but this trip we haven't seen people in 2 years, so we're
Right, everybody wants to see you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I said that, and Aviel said, no, besides seeing people, what are you excited about? And I said, well, you know what? This might sound really boring, but I'm just excited to wake up at Mima's house and at Grancer's house.
Yeah.
You know, there's just something about waking up at your parents' home that's just nice.
Yes, that
so
is
I'm
really
just really excited to wake up and have my mom here, and then when we'll stay over at my dad's house next week, and just wake up and them be around. And,
that's gonna be great.
I mean, it's kind of seeing people too.
But it's nothing like your parents being with your parents. And then next week, week after next, you will be with your family.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's third week of July.
Third week,
Yeah.
And so you get to get that excitement of waking up in the house with your family.
I mean, for me, the thing that I'm really looking forward to is rest with my family.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm head of secondary school, so principal from grade 6 to grade 12 at a private school in Jerusalem, and it has been a horrific year and a half of education during COVID. And so for me, the amount of stress that I have taken on and hopefully not brought back to the home, but it's the amount of stress that I have really felt. And I've been looking forward to be able to just get up, be with my kids, relax, watch it rain, drink your coffee,
rain in the summertime,
but just really being able to rest, because I don't feel like we've been able to do that.
Right.
There's other things we really look forward to as well, like food. There's so much food we were so excited to eat.
Yeah, I saw where you posted about bacon. Oh, girl. Yes, honey, that's a ministry in itself, bacon.
Right. I really think I've had bacon at every meal.
I love bacon. I can eat bacon all the time. But
because, of course, we don't get that in Israel because it's pork.
Right.
So bacon's a fun treat. Krispy Kreme, we haven't had that yet.
Yes. Dunkin' Donuts. Have you had Dunkin'?
We haven't yet. We tried to get it at the airport the other day.
Okay, well, you can go down the street and you can get Krispy Kreme and Dunkin' Donuts here.
Yeah.
Yes.
In one drive.
In one drive, within 3 blocks.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, and then some other things, some Mexican food. We haven't done that yet, but we will.
Yes.
Yeah, there's so much food. My mom asked me right before we got here, she said, well, what do you want me to make you for dinner when you get here? And I was like, country style steak. Because that's hard to do in Israel too, because the beef goes through this kosher process that just makes it really tough. So really good country style steak just doesn't happen in Israel. So that was something I wanted. So food we definitely look forward to. Some shopping. Get some new things.
Well, we got to give you Save Space. I got your Save New shirts coming. So yes. But anyway, I'm not going to hold a long time because I know that you all are definitely still recovering. And I want Devin to get some rest, some more rest and everything. But next, for the next few weeks, you all, we'll see how we do what's going on in Israel. Even though Callie is here in the States, she still lives in Israel, even though we're trying to, hijack her and steal her. But, You know, that's real selfish of me again. But anyway, y'all, we just want to thank you so much for spending a few minutes of your time with us. And Devin, I definitely want you one day, maybe Callie, you can do a segment with him where he talks about the educational system and how challenging it was during the lockdown.
Sure.
I think
that would be a great show, everybody. I think that we would love to see that. But anyway, as always, we thank you so much for inviting us into your homes. And we'll see you next week at 12 noon. You have a blessed day. Goodbye.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.